Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video on Marvel Strike Force, and happy Monday. Today, we have the event video for Spider-Man Pavitra here that we're going to be unlocking this week with his event Golden Hour, as well as the Alliance Raid milestone. I honestly forget the name of it, but we'll be talking about it in this video anyway. So if you want to know exactly what you need to do in order to get as many shards as possible for Pavitra, because it's going to be so important with Kiln on the horizon, you're absolutely going to need to use this character for that. Like, I have no doubts about that. So being able to do as much as you can in this event is going to be really important. There's also going to be a leaderboard up for grabs that's going to reward you with G19 tech minis for anyone who gets 1 to 3% or higher. So it's going to be really, really important. So if you're ready to go, let's boil this down. Now let's do the final recap for week 4 of April. This is the very last week for April's month-long events. And I plugged in the numbers here for Golden Hour, Rise of the Planet. That was the Alliance milestone that I wanted to talk to you about, and Quick Rumble. And we have ourselves a grand total of about 849k, which means that we have a surplus of about 49k. Now, I don't know if there was that many that were... There was maybe a little bit of currency that was a little bit hard to get in some of the early events in April. But other than that, I think that it wasn't too bad overall. So you should have an okay time at capping the 800k as long as you've been, plugging away at the events and making sure that you do as much as possible. Then we should all walk away at least with the 800k, and that's the goal for each month. I think they've been okay with, making sure that they do that. And if it's, too close to the line, then they find some way to chuck currency out towards the end of the month. But it hasn't been really that necessary this time around. So let's start things off with Rise of the Planet, because I need to talk about this alliance-based event before we really dive into the main event of Golden Hour, because this one's a bit of a weird one, because the web milestone is actually giving points for this event here. But this milestone also is really important because this is about spending shiny coins. You're gonna get shiny coins. This is an event currency that's gonna be actually for a little while anyways. It's gonna be an event store. The primary method of which you're gonna be obtaining shiny coins is gonna be through campaign energy, though, which we'll talk about in the actual main event style. But Rise of the Planets is where you're gonna do raids, and you're gonna get allied orb fragments from your daily free claims, and you're gonna be spending event currency as part of the web milestone. So 8-day alliance-based event. Total, I want to bring up the table, the charts for this first, though. So let's go on over to, which one is it? No, Rise of the Planet here, sorry. Let's move over to the full screen as well. So inside of the milestone for here, you can see on the right-hand side, actually, that there's shiny coins. So milestones of the various milestones, you get 5,000 shiny coins, 5,000, 5,000, 5,000. Now, these shiny coins are directly going to be important to the web milestone, but also to the main milestone, because that you're going to get points for earning shiny coins, but you're going to get points for spending shiny coins on the web milestone, which is going to direct back into the Rise of the Planet event. You're also going to get some gamma rays, some monthly long event currency, and some other stuff in here as well. So you basically need to spend 10,000 shiny coins every single day in order to get the alliance-based Rise of the Planet milestone points. And that's going to be for every member of your alliance. And so that's going to be really, really important, because that's going to get you, again, more shiny coins as an alliance, which is then not only going to feed into your daily milestone, but it's going to feed into the main milestone. And of course, whatever it is that we can end up spending our shiny coins on, if it's necessary, I will do a follow-up video on this one. But in terms of the event store and the value of the event store and things like that, we'll maybe take a look at that on Tuesday, when the event goes live. And so you can see in here, I don't assume that we're going to get anywhere near here. This is probably Whalestones down here. But for the purposes of this event, we have assumed that we're going to get to about 20k shiny coins, which is about milestone 13, because the raid inputs, they cap. Like, it's basically raid battles. It's about 12 raid battles a day to get 90k for the whole alliance. And the rest of it's just the free claim for the allied supply orb fragments and the web milestone points that are funneling in. So we'll take a look at that with the math here. So again, let's go back to the scene here, and there is a total of 45,000 shiny coins, but I think only about 20,000 of them are reasonable to obtain. So that's going to be really important. The free claim, sorry, this is not the free claim, web milestone, I meant to say. Web milestone is 96,000 points. This is 500 points daily from the web milestone, times 24 people, times 8 days. So that's going to give you 96,000 points. And then you're getting 90,000 points from the raid battles that are limited, unfortunately. And then we don't really know what the free claim is going to be yet for the allied supply or fragments. So I'm not exactly sure where we're going to get to, but we could wager that it could be like 500 per day per person, over 8 days, and so that would be like 4,000 fragments per player times 24, and you get a number. And I added that in here down below as well. Actually, no, that did meant to. No, sorry, yeah, that meant to be free claim because I had the peace and love web milestone down here. My bad, guys. I apologize. I am blind, apparently. So this is the web milestone here. This is the estimated free claim. This is your raid battles. Add them all together, and you get about 243,000. This is almost milestone 15, but this is still only 20,000 shiny coins. So if you go back to here, you would need to get to milestone 260,000 points, which would get you about 25,000. So we're not quite there. And unfortunately, there's not really anything you can do to push this. So the only way that we would get the 25,000 shiny coins is if the free claim was a little bit better than 500 daily. If it was like 1,000 daily, then you'd get double this, right? And so you would get more milestones. But I think typically this is where they want you to be. And so keep in mind this 20,000 shiny coins, because this is going to be really important actually as we go further in for the main event milestone. So I want to scroll back up to this, to Golden Hour. So Golden Hour is also an 8-day event with his campaign energy, because that's where primarily you're going to get your shiny coins from, outside of the alliance-based milestone as well, and raids with Spider Society characters with the bonus. So I really do want to kind of pivot over here and kind of look at this chart really quickly as well, because it's really important. There's going to be a lot of the Pavitr shards. Actually, entirely the Pavitr shards are only in the milestone. There's no orb related to this character, so it's just the shards that you're going to get over here. Also, you can see the point inputs down below. Let's just zoom in a little bit more. And you can see that it's all bonus points for characters, the new characters only. So Peter B. Parker, Pavitra, and Penny Parker, who's going to be offers only. Okay. So for the purposes of the bonus points, I've not really included anyone. Maybe I've included 1,000 for Peter B. Parker, because the rest of this is all fucking whale food. This is all whale inputs. And then you can see down here, earn 1 shiny coin. So the shiny coins that you're going to be earning from Rise of the Planets and stuff like that over here, that stuff is going to funnel into the Golden Hour milestone event as well. So, but otherwise, you can see some of the rewards in here. This mostly the Pavitra shards, the stuff we need, the event item, 15 leader shards as well, and some other dark promo credits along the way. But how far that we're actually going to be able to get to, so you can see that he's a 2-star unlock character. So 10, 25, 40. If you had the free claim here, then this milestone 6, which is very early on, you'll be able to unlock him. But in order to get yourself a 3-star, you basically need to get down here to milestone 14 in order to do that. So the other shards down here could be difficult to get. It's really hard to say, but I do want to show you the math related to that. Anyway, so let's dive into that here. And we don't know what the free claim is. There's 160 Pavitra shards. I think 40 of this is going to be really hard to get. So I think that we might be able to get about 120 plus the 5 from the free claim, which would be about 125 total. This is largely in line with the kind of events that Scopely gives us, is that you want just like a 3-ish star kind of character. So that's what I would expect for this. The event milestone, for the event item milestone points, is at 62,000. There's 107,000 currency up for grabs, plus that's including the web milestone stuff as well. Now, the web milestone includes spending 10,000 daily shiny coins. Okay, so we talked about that as related to the web milestone, which funnels into the alliance milestone. We'll talk about down below, though, like how many daily coins that you should be able to get, because I do want to keep this in mind that they probably want us to clear that. So that gives us an idea of what the currency exchange ratio might be in terms of energy spent to coins. I think they want us to clear the web milestone. So I'm going to be using that as judgment in terms of how many that we're actually going to be getting. Now, this is my usual campaign energy per day. You get about 1,108 campaign energy through your time-based energy, your free refreshes that happen 3 times a day, up to 4 core refreshes, and your 100 energy from your web milestone gives you 1,108. Now, if this is an 8-to-1 ratio, you're going to get about 8,800 or about 8,900 rounding up shiny coins per day, so it's not quite the 10,000 from the web milestone. And this maybe sounds too good to be true, but in terms of where this is going to get to in terms of the total milestone, it's going to make more sense that way. So over 8 days, this is about 71,000 shiny coins. Again, energy to currency is always subject to change. For whatever reason, they never really want to tell us what it's going to be. Now, if we're getting 10 shiny coins to 1 energy, then you're going to get about, based on this energy, you're going to get 11,000 shiny coins per day. And that caps the 10,000 requirement per day, right? And so then that's going to give you 88,640 over 8 days. So a difference of like 18,000 there, you can see, or just about in terms of the 8 to 1 versus the 10 to 1. And so where does that leave you then with reasonable points from the 8 to 1 versus the 10 to 1? So if it's an 8 to 1, you're going to get basically about 91,000 milestone points. This is without the free claim though, so keep that in mind. And that gets you almost to milestone 15, which is 95 Pav shards. So I can go back over here, and you can see milestone 15 is down here, and you get all this stuff over. I hate how this kind of like it's kind of anyways over here. And so that's not quite that's just a bare 3-star, right? And I think that this might be possible over here. It's highly possible we're going to walk away with 100 shards, 105 shards, but that doesn't sound very good to me. And so that's why I honestly believe that for once that this might be a 10 to 1 ratio. And what that means is that with this 10 to 1 ratio, that it'll take us to almost milestone 16 with the free claim, and that'll bring us to 120 Pav shards, which really isn't that much either. But that's why I think that I don't think they just want it, because 95, what if you miss that free claim? Then technically, at 8 to 1, milestone 15 is not even going to get you a 3-star if you missed it. So I think that they do want you to get a 3-star through the standard character release events, which is why I believe that the currency ratio for this one is going to be 10 to 1 instead. However, of course, I have to put this up here that this is all subject to change. This is just my honest estimation as to what I think it'll be. If it's less than 8 to 1, I think we're absolutely fucked for this event. So for that reason, I think it's at least 8 to 1, but I very much could wager that it's 10. But one thing that I want to strongly recommend people do is that they spend a lot of cores on this event. Beyond the 200 cores, frankly, I think people should be doing that. Why? Because there's a leaderboard attached to that. We need to talk about this. I believe I have this up here. And so there is, like I said in the beginning of the video, that there's going to be 100 G19 tech minis up for grabs, and 750 dark diamonds as well if you place in the top 1 to 3%. That's normally around the top like 8 to 9,000 players. So if you're pushing really hard for Dark Dimension 7, you really want to get more value out of this, then you're going to want, the only way to improve your score on this leaderboard, well, is going to be spending on the Spider Society characters to get them 5+ yellow star, or spamming cores for campaign energy so that you can get more shiny coins. And just to put this into perspective, each mini is worth 400,000 gold. So that's 100 minis. So 100 times 400,000 is 40 million gold. That 1 to 3% payout represents 40 million gold worth of G19 tech minis, and that is a lot, and why this is worth pushing for. You're probably not going to get, unless you're an ardent spender, that's the only way you're going to get into the top 1,000 for diamonds for Black Cat. And those are really nice rewards up here. But realistically, 1 to 3% is something that is very possible for free-to-play players if you're willing to spend the cores to do that. And I always have cores just sitting in the wing, and I think this is exactly what I'm going to be using them on, because I think this is going to be well worth it to get 40 million gold worth of G19 minis. So some other things that I want to say, just final notes for this event. It is a little bit unclear how many shiny coins per energy we will get, but the web milestone requiring spending 10,000 daily, I think that suggests that it's going to be at least 8 to 1. I think it very well could be 10 to 1. If you are coring over 200 cores daily, like I am actually going to go to about 600 cores. I'm going to do the 450s, and then do the 100s. I'm going to be doing that every single day for 8 days. I'm not going to dip into the 200s, but I will dip into the 100s because I want to push this as much as I possibly can. The web milestone possibly may not be designed to fully complete daily, however, so we'll see, right, what the currency total ends up being, and I'll be sure to post that on my Discord server as well when the event goes live on Tuesday. Once we know everything, I'll post this sheet again, the updated version with the free claim as well, and we have the new totals of what that's going to be. I think Scopely wants us to get a 3-star PAB, though, so I think a 10 to 1 ratio seems pretty likely, because otherwise we won't get those extra 25 shards. And that would mean that the shards from this event would be more like 95 from the milestone. I think that's pretty low. So I think that extra 25 from milestone 16, I think, is going to be viable. Because there is a 1 to 3% red tech leaderboard, I recommend anyone trying to push the core more energy, because it's the only way. It's the only way that you can push this free to play without, buying the Spider Society characters. It's the only other input into the event. So if your goal is to progress the leaderboard, cores are better spent on energy, rather than using it to unlock Penny Parker, who's going to be on Friday. And we have more to talk about with her, especially with the upcoming Escape from Kiln and things like that. So that is something that I would caution about as well. But I do really want to, get this leaderboard at 1 to 3%. So I'm going to be doing what I can to spend my course there on the energy to do the best that I can. That's going to be the end of this video, everyone. Let me know what you think in the comments down below of this event for the unlock for Spider-Man Pavitra, who is going to be a very important member of the team as well, and going to be a really important event for the end of April. That's it for now, everyone. And until next time, stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you all later. Boilon, signing out.